Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched someone go through so much pain, so much loss, and still find the strength to love again? Because that's exactly what happened to Georgia, a dog who had every reason to give up but didn't. And I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to see the world a little differently. Georgia was in labor. Her body was working, but her heart, it was heavy. This wasn't her first time going through this, but it was the hardest, because the last time, she lost everything. Every single puppy gone too soon. I was there. I tried to save them. I tried to get them breathing, to help them latch, to do anything I could. But they were too tiny, too weak. And just like that, they slipped away. Can you imagine what that does to a mother? But let's go back to where Georgia's story really begins, before she knew what it felt like to have a full belly, before she ever had a warm place to sleep. She wasn't born into a loving home. She was found at a gas station on the Arizona-Mexico border. Just a small dog, trying to survive on her own, eating scraps, dodging cars, searching for a safe place to rest. She had no one. That's when Sunshine Dog Rescue stepped in. They saw her, and instead of looking away, they helped. They gave her food, a warm bed, and most importantly, love. And for the first time in a long time, Georgia wasn't alone. But love doesn't erase pain. When she lost her puppies, she was shattered. I don't know if you've ever seen a dog grieve, but it's one of the hardest things to witness. She searched for them. She whimpered. She curled up in a corner, and she wouldn't eat. It was as if she was fading away right in front of us, and honestly, we didn't know how to fix it. Then, someone had an idea, a simple one. They gave Georgia a stuffed animal, one with a heartbeat inside, something to comfort her. And for a moment, it helped. She would curl up with it, as if it were real, as if it were one of her lost puppies. But it wasn't enough. She needed more. She needed something real. That's when everything changed. At the same time Georgia was grieving, another tragedy had happened. Several newborn kittens had been orphaned. They had no mother, no warmth, no one to care for them. And that's when we thought, what if? What if Georgia could be their mother? What if they could help heal each other? We introduced them slowly. At first, Georgia was confused. These weren't puppies. They didn't look like her babies. But then, instinct kicked in. She sniffed them. She nudged them closer. And then, she started licking them, cleaning them, comforting them. It was as if she was saying, I'll take care of you. And just like that, Georgia became their mother. I wish you could have seen it. The way she curled around them, the way they clung to her. She let them nurse, even though she didn't have milk. She kept them warm. She protected them. And in return, they brought her back to life. The sadness in her eyes started to fade. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She had a reason to live. And these kittens, they thrived. They gained weight. They purred. They played. They looked at Georgia as if she were their real mother, because to them she was. She was everything they needed. But just when things seemed like they were finally falling into place, life threw another challenge at Georgia. She was diagnosed with cancer. And I won't lie, it felt unfair. Hadn't she been through enough? Hadn't she lost enough? But if you've learned anything about Georgia by now, you know she doesn't back down. She fought. Through the exhaustion, through the pain, through the treatments, she fought. And you know what? She won. Georgia beat cancer. She survived. And she didn't just survive, she thrived. She healed. And finally, after everything she had been through, it was time for her to find a real home, a forever home. And here's the best part. One of her kittens went with her. Out of all the possible adoptions, out of all the different families, Georgia and one of her adopted babies ended up in the same home, together, just like it was meant to be. So, here's the question I want to leave you with. What if no one had stepped in? What if we had looked at Georgia and thought, she's just another stray, and walked away? What if those kittens had been left alone? What if no one had cared? It's easy to think we're just one person, that we can't change much. But the truth is, every single act of kindness matters. You never know how much one small action can change someone's life, whether it's a person, a dog, or a tiny, helpless kitten. So if this story moved you, if George's strength and love inspired you, do something about it. Visit your local animal shelter, donate, foster, rescue, or even just share this story, because there are so many Georges out there waiting for someone to care. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the reason a story like this has a happy ending.